This is NDTV. And you're watching NDTV Hindu.
The DMK chief stops short of shutting his doors to the PMK on an alliance with the party. He says the question does not arise. Corporal punishment gone too far. A 12-year-old in Cuddalore town dies after being hit several times. The mother says she was not informed at all. Chennai's parents and students are disturbed and angry. They condemn the shameful act, saying it can have worse impacts.
அவங்க மேல எந்த ஆக்ஷனும் இவ எடுக்கிறது இல்ல. அவங்க யாரையா பிடிச்சி வெளியில வந்துருவாங்க. அதனால என்ன ஆயிடுறது? மக்களுக்கு வந்து என்ன வேணா பண்ணலாம், எது வேணா பண்ணலாம்னு நினைக்கிறாங்க.
Amma weaves her backup plan and welcomes new entrants from the DMK into the AIA-DMK with arms wide open. It's back to school for the sub-inspectors of the state. The men in khaki brush up their soft skills for better image building with the public. 6 Chennaiites receive a humbling homecoming in the city as they flee a trouble-torn Egypt.
We are so happy that we are going to meet our families.
And we take you to the town that never sleeps. It's also Junior Aragiri's first solo venture in production. Hello and welcome to News Tonight on NDTV Hindu. I'm Evelyn Matthew. A quick scan of the rest of the day's news before we move into those stories in detail. Global concerns over oil prices trigger a sell-off on Dalal Street. Sensex closes below 18k for the first time since August 31st. Protests in Cairo and Alexandria gain momentum. Close to 1 million people gather to push for Mubarak's ouster. A second special Air India flight brings Indians home from Cairo. Passengers allege they were overcharged, but the government says no. A dramatic footage reveals the actual collision between INS Vindhyagiri and a merchant ship. Gujarat's Chief Minister Narendra Modi accuses the centre of losing its grip over left-wing extremism. Home Minister counters him. And ahead of the World Cup, Captain Dhoni says India for a change aren't the underdogs in the tournament. On to our top story. First, in a swiftly changing political temperature in the state, the DMK chief, Karunanidhi, stopped short of shutting his doors to the PMK. Just 2 days ago, Karunanidhi announced in Delhi that the PMK would fight the upcoming assembly polls with the DMK-led alliance. But PMK chief Dr. Ramdas denied this, saying that the party was yet to decide. PMK has a strong presence in the one-year community-dominated North Tamil Nadu. Although the PMK fought the 2006 assembly polls with the DMK, it switched to the AIA-DMK camp for the last Lok Sabha polls only to draw a blank. Meanwhile, on seat sharing with the Congress party, the chief minister has said that there were no talks yet and that the committees will be formed to discuss seat sharing in detail. Well, let's just bring in our reporter Lokpriya, who's been tracking that story and who was there when the chief minister spoke. She joins us live from our studios. Lokpriya, looks like the DMK patriarch is at it again with his riddles and comments that really make critics wonder whether they have to read between the lines or digest what comes from Gopalapuram with a pinch of salt. What do you make of what M. Karunanidhi really said today?
Yes, Evelyn, you're absolutely right. DMK chief Karunanidhi is at his best again with his riddle-like statements. When journalists posed the question of whether PMK is still in the alliance with the DMK, he said the question does not arise. He said that he made a statement in Delhi as soon as he landed that the PMK is with the DMK with an assumption of the communication that they had between us. And he said that the PM Ramdas's reply to the DMK's chiefs to his statement, he came to know about it only reading from the papers in New Delhi. And he said that now that Ramdas has said that they are yet to decide, the question of whether PMK joining DMK does not arise. So it's kind of, he's very non-committal about it. And when asked if PMK will directly align with the Congress, he says that they are yet to answer us. So that question again doesn't arise. So he's again very, very non-committal about this whole PMK thing. We need to remember that in 2006 elections, PMK went joined hands with the DMK, and the PMK was given around 30 seats in the assembly. And now that it looks like the PMK is keeping the DMK waiting, and it's kind of playing a hide and seek game. But it's going to be interesting to see how things are going to be pan out in the next few days, because PMK founder Ramdas has said that they will announce the alliance details in a week or so. So it's going to be really interesting to find out how this whole political developments is going to take place in Tamil Nadu. And one more thing, that the DMK, when journalists asked whether there was talks of power sharing with the Congress in the recent meeting that he held with the Prime Minister and Sonia Gandhi, he said that there were no talks of power sharing, and that both the parties, the Congress and the DMK, will form committees, electoral committees, to discuss about the seat sharing and the power sharing in the state. So he was at his best again, with a lot of comment, a lot of riddles. So it is really difficult to read into what, but one can say that the master craftsman of Tamil Nadu politics is definitely playing his game of keeping the press at waiting. Evelyn?
Right, thanks very much indeed, Lokpriya, for joining us with your inputs. There clearly the Chief Minister once again playing Riddler and not letting out too much, but saying it in just a few words. Now, today we also bring you the fight of a family in Cuddalore who believe their son was a victim of corporal punishment. This is our campaign, Justice for Alvin Jose. Well, the mourning parents of 12-year-old Alvin of Cuddalore district have been inconsolable ever since their little boy breathed his last. Last night, the St. Joseph Higher Secondary School student was hit severely near his forehead, allegedly by his hostel warden. In fact, there were repeated complaints earlier that the warden had been physically abusing the deceased over the last week. Ever since, the angry residents of the district have been staging protests and blocking the roads in the area. Posters condemning the particular school and the act have been plastered across Cuddalore. The police have in fact filed an FIR which says it's a case of unnatural death. But there is a wave of growing support at Alvin's school as well as the hospital. The local politicians have also joined in support, while the district officer has promised action. The principal and the warden have been named as suspects in the FIR that's filed.
போன வாரத்தில் வந்து பார்த்துட்டு போனேன் என் பிள்ளைய நல்லா தான் இருந்தா எங்களுக்கு இவங்க ஆனால் எதுவுமே சொல்லலைங்க ஆனால் வாடனை அடிக்கிறான்னு தான் சொன்னான் எப்போ பண்ணாலும் இன்னும் 3 மாதம் இரு சாமி நான் வந்து இட்டுன்னு போய் பக்கத்துலேயே வச்சுக்கிறேன்னு சொன்னேன் அதுக்குள்ளே என் பிள்ளை எப்படி பண்ணிட்டாங்க எங்களுக்கு ஒரு ஃபோன் கூட பண்ணலைங்க அவங்க எதுவுமே சொல்லலை செத்து தூக்கிட்டு வந்து ஆஸ்பத்திரியில் வச்சுட்டு எங்களுக்கு ஃபோன் பண்ணுறாங்க நேரம் ஹாஸ்பிட்டலுக்கு வந்து பார்த்தா என் பிள்ளை செத்து கிடக்குது எனக்கு ஒரு பிள்ளை சாமி இனிமே எனக்கு என்ன இருக்குது ஒன்றும் இல்லை.
The shattered mother over there of Alvin Jose. Well, this incident has definitely got every parent like her in the city to angered, disturbed and vocal about the fact that corporal punishment could still be meted out on students. Here are some of the reactions that NDTV Hindu gathered.
They may not need to hit children. There can be so many other ways of helping children to grow into better people. It's very unfortunate to know that a child has been given corporal punishment and he has died.
அவங்க மேல எந்த ஆக்ஷனும் இவ எடுக்கிறது இல்ல. அவங்க யாரையா பிடிச்சி வெளியில வந்துருவாங்க. அதனால என்ன ஆயிடுறது, மக்களுக்கு வந்து என்ன வேணா பண்ணலாம், எது வேணா பண்ணலாம்னு நினைக்கிறாங்க. ஒரு டீச்சரா இருக்கிறவங்க அவங்க தான் முதல்ல அந்த குழந்தையை நல்வழிப்படுத்தணும். அவங்களே இந்த மாதிரி வன்முறையை கையாண்டா நாட்டில் வந்து ஃபியூச்சர்ல ரொம்பவே ப்ராப்ளம் வரும்.
கண்டிப்பாக டீச்சர்ஸுக்கு கண்டிக்கணும். அதை வந்து அடிக்கிற விதமாக கண்டிக்காமல் கண்டிக்கிற விதமாக கண்டிக்கணும். பேரண்ட்ஸை அதாவது அடிக்கக்கூடாது, பசங்களை வந்து டீச்சர்ஸ் வந்து அடிக்காமல் கண்டிக்கணும்.
பொறுப்பாகவும் நடந்துக்கலாம், அதே சமயம் பொறுமையாகவும் நடந்துக்கணும். டீச்சர்ஸ்ன்றது வந்து பேரண்ட்ஸ்க்கு வந்து பிள்ளைங்களை ஸ்கூலில் விடும்போது அவங்க எப்படி வந்து ஒரு பேரண்ட்ஸாகவே ஸ்கூலில் நடக்கணும். கண்டிப்பாக ஒரு டீச்சர்ஸ் படிப்பும் சொல்லித்தரனா பேரண்ட்ஸாகவும் இருக்கணும், இருந்தால் தான் வந்து நல்லது. ஆனால் அடிக்கக்கூடாது பிள்ளைங்களை.
அதாவது இப்போ ஃபர்ஸ்ட் வந்து we want the teachers, second we go to the higher authority, to the administrators. அடிக்கக்கூடாதுன்னு ஜியோவாக இருக்குது. இப்போ லேட்டஸ்ட்டாக இங்கே கூட ஒரு ஏதோ சொன்னாங்கன்னு சொல்லி நான் வார்ன் பண்ணிட்டு வந்தேன் டீச்சர். அது ஸ்டூபிட் இடியட்லாம் சொன்னாங்க, டோன்ட் யூஸ் ஆல் த ஹார்ஷ் வேர்ட் சொல்லிட்டு வந்தேன். என்ன நினைக்கிறாங்களோ as which they are doing this, we don't like people doing this. ஏன்னா அவங்க டீச்சர்ஸும் ஒரு பேரண்ட் தானே, on where they put the children.
Well, the shock hasn't spared even the student community either. Boys and girls who are pretty much Alwyn's age also have spoken up about the rash way of treatment in such cases.
Corporal punishment definitely needs to be condemned because it mentally, if not physically, even mentally, it disturbs a student. As in, it puts more pressure, and that is just not the right way to motivate a child. A child should be spoken to, should be made to understand the pros and cons of doing something, because even when you hit a child or give corporal punishment, it gives him the wrong idea that if somebody else does something wrong, he can do the same thing. Probably he will resort to hitting another child when he does something wrong. So it's a wrong message that's being sent across to the youth today.
Corporal punishments shouldn't be given to children because it will have a bad impact on their mental health, and teachers should find a better way of bringing out their message to the children, because some kids, they need to be told more than once, and corporal punishments are having a very bad effect on the kids nowadays, and these kind of news and all are really very disheartening.
Well, let's hope that the investigations really reveal the truth in this case and justice is delivered. Still ahead on the bulletin, the men in khaki get a lesson on being the friendly cop in the neighborhood. It's back to school for the city cops.